hundreds of families across the country and even Europe fighting for answers after the owner of a company handling surrogacy funds allegedly stole millions of dollars from hopeful parents, leaving some scrambling to figure out how to pay for babies already on the way. It's an investigation in partnership with our ABC-owned stations. Here's Ariel Reshef with From Hope to Heartbreak.
This was from the embryo transfer day. This was our last embryo that we had. I think I was probably a little nervous, but I was extremely excited.
Jenna and Roy Copeland had been waiting for this moment for 10 years. They were finally having a baby via a surrogate.
We were thrilled. I think I remember telling Roy that I was shaking whenever I got the picture of the positive pregnancy test. And all three were positive, and I was very excited. So this is the start of our nursery.
They were preparing to share their happy news with their family and friends when their excitement was quickly overshadowed by shock, disbelief, and heartbreak.
Little did we know that the following week was going to be filled with reaching out to law enforcement, to attorneys, filing all these multiple claims instead of being excited and getting prepared for our gender reveal party.
To have this kind of cloud over us was terrible timing.
The Copelands discovering they were among possibly hundreds of victims alleged to have been robbed of money they put in escrow to ease their surrogacy journey. Alleged victims stretching from coast to coast and even Europe.
We had put hard-earned money into this account, and what are our next steps? What are we going to do? Where do we go from here?
The Copelands are now joining a civil lawsuit along with at least 30 other plaintiffs.
The escrow route was supposed to be safe and protect both sides of the transaction. So to find out that it is kind of like the Wild West as far as surrogacy goes was kind of disheartening.
The lawsuit claims Houston-based Surrogacy Escrow Account Management, LLC, or SEAM, and its owner, Dominique Side, systematically misappropriated millions of dollars, allegedly using the money to fund her lavish lifestyle. Trips all over the world, luxury cars, designer clothes, real estate ventures, and membership to the exclusive social club, Soho House. A video from SEAM's website, which has since been taken down, shows Side promising families they will be well taken care of.
The main concerns of most people looking for services like this are my funds secure? Yes, absolutely.
A lot of these escrow funds were intended to pay for the surrogate's medical care and prenatal care. So if they're not able to get medical treatment or prenatal care, that puts those children at risk, and it puts the surrogate's health at risk as well.
Another separate lawsuit against SEAM and Side was also filed. Side hasn't shown up to court since proceedings started in mid-July. So we set out to find her.
Where is Dominique?
I'm not at liberty to tell you that right now.
Now, a court in Harris County, Texas, has frozen Side's assets. The FBI in Houston has opened an investigation into the alleged fraud. It's estimated that around 250 families have been impacted, with an estimated $10.9 million lost.
That's the rocking chair.
Nightline partnering with our ABC-owned stations around the country, speaking to affected families and surrogates in several states.
$45,000 is not a small amount for any family.
We sent the money and she walked away with it.
What was that like for the two of you?
We were just in shock. This is what you read about in the news. We're regular people. This doesn't happen to us.
The Copelands are one of those families.
I think, we both knew that we wanted to have a family one day.
But growing their family wasn't easy, facing multiple miscarriages, an ectopic pregnancy, and failed IVF transfers.
I ended up losing a fallopian tube in the process, a lot of internal bleeding, so it was a very serious situation.
For me, the worst part was just watching her deal with these hurdles and challenges.
The Georgia couple ultimately turned to surrogacy.
We actually ended up doing a refinance on a couple of our rental properties.
Now, 7 months into their pregnancy, they fear they are out $40,000. According to the lawsuit, funds from SEAM escrow accounts allegedly also helped bankroll Dominique Side's personal businesses, including a vegan clothing line and her music career as an R&B singer. And as as a rapper and producer.
Selfish is the right word. She's got these other ventures that she funded with our money and with other people's money, and she did it on the backs of hardworking people.
Sarah Swallow and her husband Corey also chose Seam to put their surrogacy funds in escrow. What made you go with Seam?
We use Seam because they are one of the top recommended, most reputable surrogacy escrow companies in the States. You know, no one has had issues. I told our attorney we were using Seam, and she was like, oh, great company.
Sarah was born without a uterus, and the couple already has one daughter, Rosie, via a gestational carrier. Hoping to give Rosie a sibling, they were getting ready to transfer their only remaining embryo when they received an alarming email.
It says, due to legal action, I regret to inform you that all operations have been placed on hold. At this time, I'm unable to provide further details regarding this matter.
Reading this email, it was like all pretense dropped. Something is not okay.
And then the last email we got was from Dominique herself. It's very short. It says, my sincerest apologies for the non-responsiveness. My company and I have been noticed that we are subject to an active investigation by federal authorities.
Everything that could point in the worst direction is pointing in the worst direction.
According to the complaint, days after that final email from Side was sent out, she informed her bank that she wanted to close all of Seam's accounts, writing, the whole process ignited a fire that I can't extinguish, so I will no longer have a use for those funds.
What did she tell you she had done?
That there was some mismanagement of funds, and that she just wanted to make sure that we were not implicated wrongly.
Anthony Hall, a known music producer and one of Side's partners in her music production business, is also a defendant in the lawsuit. He allegedly received at least $541,000 that had been funneled through one of Side's businesses. He denies all wrongdoing and claims he has spoken to Side, saying she told him she was turning herself into federal authorities.
I wanted her to just worry about herself and doing the right thing and continuing to be forthcoming and honest with the upcoming interview that she had with the FBI.
But so far, Side herself has not shown up in court, nor has any legal representative. She left her primary home in Houston, and we tried to find her in New Orleans, where she owns another property allegedly bought with stolen funds from Seam. Investigative reporter Kevin Ozebek from ABC's Houston station KTRK was able to speak to Side's mother.
Do you have any message to these expecting parents and these surrogates who are so upset at Dominique?
I mean, I understand, that they're upset. I do. I really understand where they're coming from because I have to put myself in their place.
Do you believe she deliberately funneled money out of that escrow account?
No, I don't. But y'all have a blessed day.
Dominique's mother says that she understands why people are upset with her daughter.
I would like to think that people are good, but if you understood the gravity of the situation, you wouldn't have done what you did.
The FBI tells ABC News that they don't provide updates on specific investigations, but encourage anyone who may have been a victim of Seam to report it to the FBI.
How does someone take advantage of a community that is already so vulnerable, so emotionally, financially stretched already? It's sick.
In Boise, Idaho, Shannon Willardson and her surrogate, Jessica Werrett, have also been struggling with the gravity of the situation. Shannon said she herself had undergone multiple rounds of IVF and a failed embryo transfer before turning to surrogacy, sharing intimate moments of her fertility journey with her hundreds of thousands of followers on social media.
So how many eggs did you get?
I got 13 eggs. The expense is really extreme, and we feel so blessed that we've been able to do this.
All in all, Shannon says she lost most of the $25,000 she deposited into her escrow account with Seam. But among the heaviness, a glimmer of hope.
I remember having a conversation with my mom where I just totally broke down and was just like, I give up. Like at some point, nothing is working out. And I think it was like the next day that Jess called me and had taken a pregnancy test and it was positive. It just felt like the biggest tender mercy from God.
There's 2 babies in my belly. Such a blessing. So it's going to be so good.
As for the Swallows, they're down to their final embryo and are dedicating all their energy and remaining resources into the hopes of a second child.
We're not able to move past this for years to come, if ever. It's just a thing that's going to be in our lives forever, probably.
For Jenna and Roy Copeland, the path ahead is also uncertain. They say they will have to work another year beyond their planned retirement to be able to pay their surrogate.
Unfortunately, we did have to pull these funds from our retirement account.
To have to pull these funds out is a big hindrance. We're set back, and we've got to figure out another way to make that happen.
Despite the challenges, the Copelands enjoying the precious moments, like finding out come November
1, 2, 3.
They will be having a baby girl. But while they wait, they also continue to fight.
This lady needs to be brought to justice, and we need to get our money back so that we can continue this journey and make sure that our baby has everything she needs now and in the future.